To get interactive.
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
And like Nanaya Jantwa said, they have no option but to pass on some costs to the consumer.
To us, yeah.
So on Interactive tonight, we are finding out from the consumer how they feel about this latest announcement. How are they going to cope?
Please ask me first. How do I feel?
How do you feel?
Water.
6
years, I don't have water in my pipe. So my issue is different.
So you don't pay for water? I mean,
the water,
you don't pay
the water
for...
doesn't even flow.
Yes, but you pay for tankers to bring water to your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to go up. Yeah, that's true. It's going to, I mean, I pay 80 cedis every 2 weeks.
Wow.
So it's going to be maybe 100 now. Every 2 weeks. That's, yeah.
And electricity?
Electricity now, the 150 cedis I buy doesn't end the month. So shy about 3 days, 5 days to the end of the month, I have to go and top up again. So I have to go up. Wow. So by now I should be reserving 300 cedis for electricity. Meanwhile, I don't have sound system, I don't have DVD, nothing. Just my TV and my fridge, and that's it.
But you know, they say we should be putting off our fridges and deep freezers and stuff to save energy. You do that?
Yes.
Wow.
I shut off my deep freezer every evening.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's actually good. I think that when you shut it off and you wake up in the morning and it's still fine. Yeah, so.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyway, if you pay 100 cedis for your current electricity consumption, by the end of next month, you will pay 106 cedis 40 pesos. Utility tariffs have gone up again for the last quarter of the year. So are you bracing yourselves to pay more for power and water? Are you ready to pay? This is JN Interactive. My name is Ifwakwa Harrison. Let's talk. I'll be right back.
Joy News Interactive is brought to you in association with
Surfline. It's about time.
Please join us via social media. We're on facebook.com/Joy News on TV. You can find us on Twitter, the same handle, Joy News on TV, or at JN Interactive GH. Send us an email if you like. The email address is joynews@multitvworld.com, or you can send your messages through on WhatsApp. The number is 054-010-9009. The number again, 054-010-9009. And Joy News Interactive is proudly supported by Surfline. It's about time. Now, January 1st, 2014, electricity goes up by 9.73%. Water is up by 6.8%. In March 2014, another increase is announced. July, 12.09% for power, 6.1% for water. Well, it's the last quarter of the year and prices of energy and water are up once again. Now, when the gargantuan announcement of the increase in tariffs was made last year, reason given was that it was to provide better services for Ghanaians, and of course, government could no longer subsidize the tariffs. So what do you think about the latest announcement? Fafa Kenchiji has been out and about.
Okay, so still on the issue of the increment of utility bills. Well, I'm out and I want to find out what people think about this and how they're going to cope and manage in this situation.
One day said they were going to increase the tariffs to give us better service. Are we having the better services now? So they have no basis increasing these tariffs again.
It's very bad in this country, you know, because just right now I went and bought the ECG, the prepaid. It took almost 2 hours. They told me the system is down. And I've heard you want to increase the distance. So how does the government want us to do?
If you go to my house now, I have one TV, only one fan. I don't have any fridge or whatever. But if you let it be, it can over 1.5. You see, I don't have a fridge. I don't have all those things. I don't have tape. Just one TV, one fan, no deck. I don't watch movie. You see. So I think like if the government can do something that they let pay, you come down. I think like everybody can like it.
The price is too high. We are now to pay maybe water bill, electricity bill. I think it's too high.
If the increments will commensurate with better services, that one, I don't have a problem with it. But they keep on increasing, yet they are giving us poor services. The Dumso is still on, and then I don't remember the last time that water flowed through my pipe.
Now we are suffering. They should allow us. We need more job in the system. Now, by then they are increased this all the time. So now the school fees is going high, the electricity, water bill is too much.
We should do something about the, what do you call it, those forces that hold the prices. I mean, they should just sit down and do something about the, what do you call it, the economy at large, and then do something about the prices.
Oh, it is too much. This government, what is doing is too much, because they are going to increase water bill and light bill. It is too much.
So you've heard it, your own views from out on the streets. Now, Kofi Capito is the CEO of Consumer Protection Agency. Welcome to Joy News Interactive. Thank you so much for...
If we're right?
Yes.
Okay, your viewers.
Yeah. Thank you so much for making it.
No problem.
So what do you think of this latest increment?
You know, it is interesting that as your footage even shows that I think people will be more accommodating and more accepting, accepting to the news if only we were not going through the challenges that we are going through. I mean, for crying out loud, if you are getting A services and is per the contract, I pay for something you deliver, I think we all be happy.
Yeah.
But when somebody is shortchanged based on a contract, I mean, that's why you hear all this agitation. And even this latest announcement, some of the reasons why they went up, to me, as a layman, it doesn't add up to me. Some was due to the fact that inflation, the cedi and the dollar, the price of crude oil. For crying out loud, the last few weeks or maybe a month or so, we haven't heard anything about the crude oil price going up on the international market. Quote unquote, we've been told recently that the cedi is so fast that even Usain Bolt has to chase him. So if these two things are happening, let's say maybe inflation, maybe, I don't know, I'm not an economist, but I'm just saying that because everybody's complaining about high cost of living. The issue I want to ask, we know there are three forms of the generation mix: crude, hydro, and then the thermal energy. Crude is the most expensive, followed by the thermal, which is the gas, and the hydro. For that we've been told, the issue that prompted Ghana into this brouhaha recently was not the fact that the crude oil was the issue, it was the fact that the gas was an issue. And then we've been told that, oh, hooray, Kweku Alata has decided that he's going back to work. So we don't have any problem with a shop. So my question is, what has necessitated this new increase? I haven't even received a communique from the PRC, quote unquote. My agency is supposed to be a stakeholder. And I thought maybe at least we would have been informed that we're going to do this tomorrow. I was shocked when the media started calling me. I said, I don't know. You know, but so this way of doing things does not actually bow down for the Ghanaian. Look, we understand, but probably we need to pay for these services that we are getting. My biggest challenge, we know water and electricity. And I can guarantee you, if you go out on the street and do a survey as to what is worrying Ghanaians at this particular moment, water and electricity, they will tell you electricity. And even though, I mean, that's true. So how do you justify that you have actually held on to the increase that was going to go to water, that you will not pass it on to us, but rather you are passing on the electricity to the consumer, where my major concern is the inadequate supply of electricity. So to me, the decision even to choose one over the other And then the funny thing is, PRC has actually condemned Ghana Water.
Yeah.
By their statement.
Yeah.
Because if you are telling me that because they are not doing what their mandates tells them to do, then to me, Ghana Water has a lot of explanation.
Yeah. But now the prices are going to be increased come tomorrow. How is the Ghanaian consumer to cope?
You know, look, in other jurisdictions, right, there's so many ways of us letting whether the PRC know that this will not sit down by Ghanaians. By just a mere protest, we can say that we would refuse to pay the increase, which is the 6.5, right?
Yes.
Yes.
6.54.
Yeah. Okay. The question is, why are you giving me something that I'm not getting? You're asking me to pay for something more. If they said, okay, we are going to increase it by the 6.54, and then hooray, tomorrow, no wahala, I think Ghanaians should be.
But you are saying in another jurisdiction, right?
No, I'm not. This Ghana, because I'm a lot older. I knew when electricity was on all the time. I knew when water was flowing all the time. The question is, what happened? Is it because of lack of planning? Lack of not foreseeing that the population of Ghana is growing? Look, I watched the documentary on how Akosombo was built just before around the Nkrumah's independence, and I was amazed to see the thinking and the vision of our first president, who realized that the only way Ghana can grow is to become an industrial-based economy. That is why he went to an agreement with VACO in the United States for them to come and build VRA. But guess what? 1957, 56, Ghana was about, what, 6 million. Today, 2014, between 24 to 26 million. We didn't know that the population was going to grow. We didn't know that we could plan for the infrastructure. I mean, I'm not blaming anybody, but what I'm saying is we should find a better way of cushioning the Ghanaian consumer.
But now you're saying that the Ghanaian consumer can refuse to pay the increase.
Obviously. I mean, is somebody going to take you to jail if you don't pay? People say, oh, they will turn the lights off. For crying out loud, even if 20%, 30% refuse to pay, are they going to go house to house to turn your electricity off? They cannot. This is protest. Look, if you turn on your television right now, Japan, people are on the streets in Japan, not because of anything, but they want their voices. Every government, institutions are for the people of Ghana. So at any given time, like I'm saying, look, if Ghanaians were paid realistic wages, okay, people talk about we cannot continue giving subsidy. By the World Bank. In the United States, winter is around the corner. My dear, I'm telling you that the United States subsidized heating for its nationals because they need it to survive. If you go to UK, it's the same thing. The man is telling you not to subsidize yours. Meanwhile, that's the exact thing that he does in his own country. So the question is, even in terms of wages, in the United States, people are paid minimum on the average about $9 an hour. Ghana, we are paid just under 7 cedis a day.
So what is the solution?
The solution is we should let the people know that we are not happy. Like I'm saying, if Ghanaians will listen to me, believe me, let's not pay this increase. Let's tell them that, yes, as they held on to the water, we will hold on to the 6.54 until we see some improvement. And then we can also allow you to have it. It's a give and take thing. It's a negotiation. I'm not saying that they don't have, look, the automatic adjustment.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true that it was agreed upon some time ago that is the way forward. But it wasn't only to increase it. It was even to reduce it and look at the environment. Why did they decide to hold on to the water if it was the automatic adjustment that has kicked in? So the same way that we are complaining about the utility, I'm sure the PRC could have also decided as they decided for water. And let me just say this. We consumers, there's something that we can do, which is to conserve energy. Okay, we've become a little bit abusive about, I was happy your co-host, the way he went about it. And I'm sure if we do that, yes, it might not be kosher, because, I mean, the funny thing is, the more I use, the more I pay anyway. So if I'm going to conserve, at a certain point, the ECG might not even get the revenue that they want. But it is better to conserve so that we don't put too much stress on the national grid.
Okay.
We can also support by doing that, switching off our deep freezers from 8 o'clock in the night till 6 o'clock in the morning, or 8 to 8. Everything in the deep freezer, if you're not in a room that you don't need the light, turn the light off. If you finish charging your appliances, switch the plug off. Don't just leave it on standby. It all generates energy, and then it will cost you more. All I'm saying is the PRC should come and give. With all due respect, we want them to also come and tell us, because consumers are also saying that, what about the contract that you have with us? Yeah, your contract is to increase for the utilities. You also have a contract with us that to make sure that we get what we are paying for. So,
all right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Kofi Kapito is the CEO of Consumer Protection Agency. So how will you cope? Well, we'll tell you after this break. And this is still your interactive half hour. My name is Ifwa Harrison. Now, we've been talking about the PURC's latest announcement. Utility tariffs are to go up from tomorrow. Now, we've been asking you how you will cope. Here's our next video blog.
If the government says increasing again, it will be very difficult. But you know, Ghana, those people is rich, those people is poor. You understand? How for me, as can see here, me, I'm a poor man. So if you increase it again, how much to get the money to pay all the water bill and electricity bill?
Now, I think we have to sit down and then think for it before, if anything, we have to do. Because you can't do, or you can't pay anything without thinking. We have to think. And you know, where we have to go and then manage things.
My salary hasn't been increased for the past 2 years. So I don't see, they don't have any basis to increase it, unless of course they are going to increase our salaries and then give us better service.
We are already complaining, as the president has even asserted that we complain too much. I mean, how can we cope with this huge tariff increases? I mean, no way, we can't.
For me, I think it's very bad, because when you see the way things are going on, I mean, even our salary is not even enough for us, you understand? Even what we even earn, after we deduct this water bill and electricity bill from it, I mean, it's left with nothing. Talk less of them even increasing, then that means it's going to go worse.
So that's what some people think about the issue of utility increments. Obviously, most of them, or let me put it, all of them are not happy about this decision.
Thank you, Fafa. I have your views on Facebook. Duke Eli Dre says, is that also part of the Better Ghana IMF bailout agenda? I can't answer that question for you. Baba Musa from Tamale says, in as much as we, the citizens of this country, demand for improved supply of both electricity and potable water, it then means that such improvements will definitely come with a certain cost, which certainly would be passed on to the consumer. It is clear that the annual rise in demand for electricity in this country is fast becoming too challenging for our current energy generation capacity as a country. However, the good news is that when the Ituabo gas processing plant comes on board, it will go a long way to cushion the energy sector, even though it may not necessarily be the problem solver for our energy situation. God bless our homeland, Ghana, and help us get over these difficulties in the shortest possible time. Robert Kwakuyu says, no, rather Kumi Preku. Abba. Okay. Eben Idi says, how can we cope with the increment in utility bills? No increment in salaries. Bernard Kwame says, we are all going to search for greener pastures. So Why do you want to kill us on our own soil? Few of your comments. Apeleta Benjamin says, hey, so every month increment, Raindorf Sapon says, I know this government has done so well to ease traffic by increasing fuel prices. So many people can't just buy and so park their cars now, and increase in tariffs will let people stop using electricity, so the VRA and ECG will be free. So that one is from Raindorf Sapon. Chris Brown says, Chris Brown, you ask whether salaries are also going to be increased. God help us. Wenceslaus, I think, Gracia says, well, if they are going to improve the quality of service, at least we will cope. Richland Kate says, what a country. How does man cope with these increments? And Nake says, after their horrible services to Ghanaians, they still have the guts to increase tariffs. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Kaba Nelson Sibke says, what is wrong with the PURC? We are here experiencing doomsday and they want to increase tariffs. God help us. Newark, for God knows Billy, I won't blame them since their children's chop money a week is some of our salaries. They don't know the hardships we are going through each day. After all, they are taking huge allowances. This is just wickedness. God is watching us all. So that's a passionate one, angry one there from Newark, God knows Billy. Marconi is also asking why salary is not going up. Chris Enim says, Abba, what kind of better service have they ever provided to warrant increment? God, please save us from our fellow men before we die. Abdul Fattah says, we are tired. Why can't we just wake up one day and hear reduction in prices and of goods and services? Always increment here and there. Oh, Ghana. And let me take some of your WhatsApp messages just very briefly. Believe me, with this increment, we are prepared to live in this country. After all, this doomso. God help Ghana. But that's a nameless comment, though. You didn't send your name. Richard from Insawam says, the increase in utility tariffs is making life unbearable for the ordinary person. The government must do something about the situation. All concerned consumers can stage a protest by demonstrating against the increment, since we are not seeing any improvement in the service they provide. And Zevo Daniel from Mepe says, I have one TV and one fridge, but I'm paying 150 Ghana cedis every month. So those are some of your comments coming through on WhatsApp as well. We'll be right back with What's Trending. This is still the interactive segment on Joy News, and we've been talking the latest announcement by the PURC that utility tariffs are going to be increased come tomorrow. And Kra says, how do you expect the unemployed graduates to pay these bills? We beg something should be done on the graduate unemployment. So on that note, we pause the conversation on the increase in utility tariffs for now. Let's see what is trending.
Following the issue of utility increments in the country, this is what you have been saying. Ghana lights are out daily, but PURC sees reason to increase power tariffs by 6.54% and water by 4.54% in the midst of cholera outbreak. Sad. Utility tariffs go up. Ghana without electricity is like hell without flames and demons. Legitimate feeling. So my electricity has been on for 2 days and now I'm scared, even feeling guilty. Oh, Ghana. Utility tariffs go up again, but PURC says it will not pass it on to consumers. Electricity is up by 6.54% and water by 4.54%. Oh, Ghana. Now PURC has increased prices on both water and electricity. How severe can this get before getting better? God help us. So everybody is quite worried about the increment of utility. This is what has been trending. My name is Fafa Ken Chiji.
Thank you, Fafa Ken Chiji. Steve? Someone said what? That his light has been on for 2 days and he's even scared.
Yeah.
It happens though.
It does.
Especially with the latest doom. So it's like, okay, they brought a schedule.
It's crazy. You never get used to it. I woke up at dawn 5:30 this morning and the lights were out. And I was like, oh, maybe it's my turn. I mean, seriously, who would keep this schedule in the head? Do people do that? Do you know when you're supposed to be off on?
No, but I have a printout, but then it's stabilized for a little bit, and so then you are confused, like, okay, so when? And then you're like, okay, I don't really know exactly when.
Ghana.
Anyway, time is up.
My name is Stephen NT.
My name is Ifeapa Harrison. Have a good evening.
Good evening.
Joy News Interactive was brought to you in association with
Surfline. It's about time.